Hey guys, it's Miss S. I'm just here to finish working us through the poem of my Last Duchess in order for you to be able to complete today's activity. Most of us got a little farther than when I'm going to start today, but I want to start at the spot of the last class who didn't get as far as some of the other classes, and help us work through those last kind of notes on the poem, and that way we can get straight to the activity that you guys need to do today. So we kind of left off at she had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She liked whatever she looked on, and her looks went everywhere. So we kind of talked about how she was someone that looked at other people when they were walking by, whether that be guys or girls or whatever. She's always looking around at other people, and she liked everything that she looked on. So she was always kind of, again, like looking and again playing into that flushing and flirting with other people. Then he says, Sir, 'twas all one. He's about to make a comparison and say that all of these things are of equal value to the Duchess. He says, my favor at her breast, meaning the compliments that I give her, the dropping of the daylight in the west, so the sun setting, the bough of cherries some officious fool broke in the orchard for her, this branch of cherries that some dummy gave as a gift to her, or the white mule she rode with round the terrace, or this like pony that she rode around the garden. And what he's kind of saying is like, me complimenting her and the compliments that I give her should be of more value than her riding a pony around a garden or some dummy giving her a bunch of cherries as a gift. Like, that's a terrible gift. And so he's kind of annoyed that those are all of one. They're all one, as in they're all the same value to her. And he repeats that again. All and each would draw from her like the approving speech, or blush at least. So she would say something approving of him, she would say something good about them, or she would blush from them. She thanked men good, but thanked somehow I know not how. So when they did nice things for her, these men, she always said thank you to them, and he knows that, but sometimes he wasn't sure about how she thanked them. So sometimes maybe she just offered a thank you. But what he's kind of hinting at is that maybe some other actions, like cheating on him, were happening as a way for her to say thank you to other men. And then he says, as if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift. So his name, that's 900 years old, and there's a Duke title to his last name, that is something of value because of the honor, respect that it comes with it. And so he was shocked that he feels like she compares his name and says it's of equal value to anybody else's name when he's got a higher rank in society. So my summary right here on the right-hand side is the Duchess was easily made happy or impressed. She was always looking at other people or men. He is annoyed that she does not value his compliments more than others, more than things that other people do for her. And the Duke thinks Duchess may be thanking men with actions, aka cheating, instead of just saying thank you. So now we're on to our next part. Who'd stoop to blame this sort of trifling? Even had you skill in speech, which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one, and say, just this or that in you disgusts me. Here you miss, or there exceed the mark. And if she let herself be less than so, nor plainly set her wits to yours, forsooth, and make excuse, even then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her, but who passed without much the same smile? This grew, I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. There she stands as if alive. Will it please you rise? So words that are commonly, I'm going to say, not sure of, or that we don't know, I'm going to pick trifling. This is like stupid worrying, like small things that you're worrying about or causing like an argument over. Forsooth, that is like an old way of saying, like, again, something we probably don't say anymore, but like indeed, or like sure, but it's supposed to be sarcastic. So it's like when you're like, hey, you want to go like do laundry with me? And someone's like, sure. It's not sincere, it's not real, it's rather sarcastic. This is whenever. Wilt is will it again. So Ean is even. It's just getting rid of the E's, but I think we know these words. So I'm going to go line by line. I'm going to grab my text box, put it over here. Ooh. Put it over here on the side. So who'd stoop to blame? Who would stop and kind of belittle themselves, makes themselves of a lower quality in order to figure out this worrying. Even had you skill in speech, which I have not. So our speaker is saying that Duke is not good at communicating, right? He's not like a good communicator and talking about what's going on, which I have not. To make your will quite clear to such an one. So Duke is not good at communicating, but even, sorry, I'm like adjusting because I can't sit still anymore. Duke is not good at communicating, but even if he was, sorry, but if he was, he would let the Duchess know that he knows what she's doing, that she's all around flirting at other guys, looking at other guys. And he would say specifically, and I'll put it in quotes, just this or that and you disgust me. Well, if my partner used the word disgust to talk about an argument that we might be having or something that we don't agree with, I would be kind of uncomfortable if he said to me, hey, like, I disgust this part of you. I'd be like, okay, well, that's not exactly what I was going for. Disgusting is kind of insulting. So he's saying, like, this or that, like, these things you do or that you are disgust me. He says, here you miss, so here you are not doing what you're supposed to. Or there exceed the mark, meaning like, and like there or sometimes you do what you're supposed to. And if she let herself be lessoned so think of a teacher teaching a lesson. So if she learned from what he was saying, she learned from the Duke, nor plainly set her wits to yours, or started to agree with the way he thought. Sure, and made excuse, even then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. So even if she learned from the Duke or agreed with how he thought that she would always have an excuse. And then it would just lead to more of that stooping, that like bringing yourself down. And I choose never to stoop. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her, but who passed without much the same smile? So again, the Duke is talking about just like how she's like saying hi to everyone, and she's always smiling and thankful and flirting. So how she smiled at everyone, not just him. And this is some of the areas where you'll be able to do today's assignment and think about it. This screw, this as in what? What do we see about the Duke from all of these lines so far? He keeps talking about the Duchess, and in doing so, he's revealing something about himself. Specifically, I would argue, he's kind of starts with a J, green monster. He's super jealous. He's like a really jealous and controlling guy, and he's always focusing on like all these things that his girlfriend's doing or his wife is doing that she's also doing with other people. But some of these things are just like smiling. Like she's just saying smile. Like she's just smiling at other people. She's just saying thank you. And he's kind of taking it to the extreme, right? So this grew. His jealousy grew. I gave commands. So he started to demand that she pretty much stopped. Then all smiles stopped together. Well, when does someone finally start officially ever smiling? And don't tell me just like depressed, because there's other times that like even when you're depressed, you're going to find something to smile about. There is only one time that you will forever stop smiling, and that's going to be in death. So his jealousy grew. He demanded she stopped, and then all of a sudden she's dead. And there she stands as if alive. And now in the painting, she looks like she is alive. Will it please you rise? So now he's asking him, let's get up. Get up. Let's stand up. Okay, last part. Will meet the company below. Then I repeat, the count your master's known munificence is ample warrant that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed, though his fair daughter's self, as I avowed, is starting is my object. Nay, we'll go together down, sir. Notice Neptune, though, taming a seahorse, thought a rarity, with claws of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. So, words we don't know. I'm going to be talking about munificence, which is like someone who's extremely generous. Ample means something that there's like a lot of, so plenty, or like a lot. Pretense is like attempt to, oh, I spelled that wrong, to make something that is not true look true. So it's kind of like, I'm going to make it look like I'm telling you the real story, but it's not actually the real story. Dowry is typically a gift, think money, like lots of money, to a husband after marriage from the wife's family. So like if you marry a woman, it was the woman's family to give you money to like support her pretty much when they first got married. Avowed, which is stated publicly, so like out loud in front of people. Box. So we'll meet the company below. So now we know that there is people waiting downstairs. I repeat, the count, your master's known extreme generosity is plenty warrant, plenty reason that no moral attempt to make something that's look true that's not of mine for the dowry will be disallowed. That's a lot to process. The first is that there's people waiting downstairs, and now we know that the guy he's talking to is the count's like right side man. He's not the count himself. The count is another high title, but he's someone that works for him. So we know that there's people downstairs. That's going to bother me. There are, grammatically correct, and Miss Spalding. There are people downstairs. One of them is a count who is known for his generosity. And I'm going to put myself, sorry guys. There is no reason that the Duke should be rejected. The dowry, that amount of money that's paid to someone when they get married, should be rejected. The dowry or the wedding gift, think money, because of rumors. So I'll explain all of that. So he's saying now that we know there's somebody downstairs. So we know the count is on to his next marriage. If he's talking about dowry, count's about to get married again. And there's a count, meaning either the father, probably, who's downstairs waiting to marry his daughter off. But there are some rumors going around about the Duke, some pretense, right? Some things that that seem true but that aren't true, and he wants to say that we should go and talk to the count and make sure that he knows there's no reason that he should believe in these rumors and take away my dowry, the money I'm going to be given to marry his daughter. Though his fair daughter's self, as I stated publicly at starting, is my object. So then he repeats that he will be marrying the count's daughter, but he calls the daughter his object. Nay, we'll go together down, sir. And now he's saying, oh, no, come on, we'll go together. And then he points out a statue that he has. And the statue that he has, that is another piece of art, we can see a theme going on of all this art that he has, is notice Neptune, the god of the sea, taming a seahorse. So he's kind of like, notice this other piece of art I have that shows control over something. A little sketchy right there. Thought a rarity. With which cross of Innsbruck, this is instead of a painter, the person who put it into a statue, cast in bronze for me. And then it ends. So we're supposed to now feel some type of way about our Duke. You should realize, remember, in a dramatic monologue, the Duke is going to be revealing something about himself that he doesn't need to. So now you're going to go into the assignment, watch the video for that assignment, and decide on this huge pivotal question. Do you think the Duke killed his wife? All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions.